Well, welcome back to another episode of the Cruise Conversations podcast. I'm Frank.
And I'm Michael.
And today's episode is episode number 58, and we're going to do a preview of my Utopia of the Seas cruise. Let's jump into it.
Well, we're going to start with some cruise news here today, Frank.
Yeah.
You know, Carnival, actually a couple weeks ago now, announced some new ships coming to order, right?
I'm excited.
I know, brand new class. I mean, we had guests on last week, so we figured, you know what, let's still talk about this a little today. It's going to be their largest ships yet, right? It's
going to pretty much go against the Oasis class in terms of size, right?
Yeah.
230,000 gross tons. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, a lot of people, right? What is it? 8,000 guests on board.
That's what they're saying. And like, there's really not much details out yet. I mean, they've announced there's going to be a ship in 2029, 2031, and 2033. So they kind of have that laid out, expecting a lot more to be announced over the years leading up to it. But yeah, that's up to 5 ships now that they announced this year on order. So
that's pretty strong. I mean, looking at their competitors, I think they're definitely leading the way in terms of ships on order, right? So pretty cool, pretty awesome. There's definitely been some, negativity I've seen in the comments from the Carnival fans just about, some people do like the smaller ships, and so they're pushing back a little bit, questioning, is it going to be too big? But I think that they're going to have something up their sleeves, right? They got to be able to accommodate that many people comfortably. I know they do a lot of simulations on how we actually distribute people across the ship, and I think that they'll come up with a good plan to be able to do that, right? Like, Oasis class, Icon class now, about the same size, bigger. Icon's a little bit bigger. And then I've heard that, there's no issues with people. Like, people actually say that on Icon, biggest ship in the world, the most amount of passengers, right? It feels like way better than some of the older Oasis class ships just in how they disperse people. So I'm excited to kind of see how it compares with the new Carnival ships coming.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, the people that are kind of complaining about it being too big, I think a lot of people are interested to see what they do in the future with their current Spirit class, right? I mean, these ships are getting older. Some of their other ships are getting older, to see kind of how they reinvent a smaller ship in the future. Because we've seen, obviously, like the Venezia, the Frienzi, like they've been bringing some over from Costa. But, I mean, I think those still are larger than like the Spirit class as a whole. But yeah, I mean, like we've just talked about Royal's Discovery class in the past.
I mean, that's another news item. Like in the last week or two on Utopia, they've confirmed. I mean, the CEO's talking about Project Discovery, and at one point it was Project Icon. So this is going to be pretty much their next class of ship that, after the Icon class, and obviously you got Utopia and you've got, the other Oasis class ships on order. But, this is going to be it. Like this is going to replace now, they're saying their older class, Radiance class. So it'll be really cool to see, like, how, again, to your point, how does a Carnival now rearrange their ship to be much larger, and how does a Royal take an already large concept that works really well, make it smaller so it can fit into ports like Baltimore and, different places and actually hit different ports. So I'm really excited about it. I think that's also something really cool that we wanted to mention. So another thing that's coming up, I mean, the Olympics is in progress. Obviously, this week as we're recording, it kind of kicked off. Now, we've been getting a lot of people reaching out, Michael, about, Tahiti. Now, that's a French Polynesia, right? And because it's hosted by France, they're able to do, obviously, this 10,000 miles away from Paris. But it's pretty cool if you're watching the surfers. They're actually staying on a cruise ship. And so people have been sending that in our DMs. And it doesn't really look like a normal cruise ship. It almost looks
odd,
You take like the cruise ship and you kind of cut it in half. But I saw someone on TikTok or Instagram that was saying we need like a reality show about like what's going on behind the scenes on this cruise ship. And I was like, that's actually a pretty cool idea. Because I mean, think about it. You're doing, the competitions, and you go back and you're like not in a hotel. You're with, other people on this ship celebrating, or, either, your victory, or maybe it was a bad day, but you're still on a cruise ship, which is kind of cool.
Well, that's the thing. I saw a TikTok before the games actually started, and it was some of them out there on their balcony, and they were showing the people above out on their balconies, like from another country, and they were all just hanging out. So
it's pretty cool.
I mean, you couldn't probably choose a more picture-perfect place to hang out for the
So now
weeks.
We were looking at Tahiti cruises. So that's what my wife and I were doing early today. We're like, there's definitely some options to go to Tahiti. So, I mean, that might be a cool place to, if you see the mountains, I mean, it's so cool the waves are probably a bit much for us to go swim and enjoy. I mean, they're crashing and they're humongous, right? But the beautiful landscape in the background is just like, wow, that's something. So, yeah. What else is going on, Michael, in the cruise news world?
Yeah, last piece of news we have here for the day. MSC announced some more news for their World America ship launching next year. You know, kind of like we've seen Royal do at their neighborhoods and Carnival do at their zones. They're doing districts around the ship. So they announced what they're calling their harbor area. And this is going to kind of include your different water slides. They're doing a raft slide with VR.
Wow.
That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen some places do that in the past. 11-story dry slide is going to be found here.
Now, is it going to be taller than... We don't know yet, right?
Based on the wording, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be taller.
You think Utopia is going to...
I don't know. Maybe they'll keep
It's
rivaling
pretty
back
cool.
and forth.
I like it. I think I like the competition, you know?
And this is where the cliffhanger. So we talked about this when it first broke. The overwater swing thing.
Oh, yes,
is going to be found here.
Awesome.
One kind of cool thing, they're doing a replica of their lighthouse at Ocean Key. It's like a kid's playground area. It's going to have like a slide and all that. Cool. Ropes course here with some zip lines involved. And
I actually had someone call me this week from MSC. It was like a Miami number, and it was like this guy was trying to get me to go on board. And we don't have the kind of clout yet that I was like, I'll be back. I got his number saved, so maybe I'll be like, hey, what will it look like for us to come and like do some big content on this new ship? So hey, stay tuned. Maybe I can convince this guy, smooth talk him a little bit. But yeah, it seems pretty awesome. I mean, I would love to go and experience this, even if it's just for a 2-night like media cruise. So pretty cool. And you got Misty coming up soon.
I know, next month.
So I'm excited to hear about that. So now let's talk. I mean, we've been booking cruises a lot lately, and we've got some clients that are going on an upcoming cruise. A lot of those that have heard from us through the podcast or on Facebook or whatever. So shout out Brenda and David. They're about to go on their Alaska sailing in the next couple of days.
So jealous.
I know. We got a whole year, about 11 months away, but we've been helping them plan this, and I think they've been doing a lot with their friends on the side. So we're excited for you guys. Hope that you have a great cruise. I actually have some friends I met online that I booked for Utopia of the Seas. They were like, hey, I can go, these dates. What do you recommend? And I was like, well, I'm actually going on August 9th. And so they booked with me, and their family's coming now. So excited to meet you, Shelly and Bill, on board Utopia of the Seas. And speaking of meeting up, we've got Carmen, who sent us in a really nice email. Thank you, Carmen. But Carmen basically said that she listens to the podcast, episode 55, and she thinks that she's actually confirmed that we're going to be on the same cruise as her and her husband, Chris. So really excited to meet you guys. Definitely, we're planning on getting a drinks. But yeah, that being said, if you hear a podcast about us going on a cruise, definitely let us know. Would love to meet up. I've actually met up with someone on a cruise last year. And so it's just fun to meet you guys in person and talk about what we're doing and get ideas. I mean, there's no better place to get ideas about a cruise podcast than at the cruise bar. So just excited about all the clients that are going on trips in the next couple of weeks or even this week. And shout out Carmen. Thank you so much for writing in. And we look forward to covering the cruise that you and I will both be on. So,
all right. Well, question of the week, Frank.
Yeah.
This one may be a little bit easier this week, especially like we said, we're talking Utopia today. So it has to be a Utopia of the Seas related question. Who is the godmother of Utopia of the Seas?
I mean, if you follow Royal Caribbean social media, you probably know, and you probably, I'm not going to say that. You might have something in your head right now. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, let us know at the end if you are able to come up with it. If not, we're going to tell you the answer, and it's going to be pretty cool.
I mean, maybe a little bit of a big hint, but she may be all about that bass, Frank?
Maybe she is. We'll have to find out at the end of the episode. So, Michael, you texted me today that you had like a little game.
I do.
I'm a little nervous.
It's not a hard game, but you're going on Utopia. I figured we had to get your brain moving from the start, right?
All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
A lot of new venues on the ship, new activities. So this is going to be a little bit of this or that, okay? I'm going to list some things on the ship, and you're going to choose one option or the other.
Okay, that's not too bad. We didn't prep this. I mean, I hope at home or in the car, wherever you guys are, like, we didn't. I'm just spitballing here. I don't know what's coming. So
yeah. Now, only really rule is, quick, right? We don't need any long explanation because some of these we're probably going to talk throughout the episode.
Okay.
But whatever one you think you're going to do or prefer more.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
In the first couple seconds. So number one here, we got the Pesky Parrot or the Mason Jar Bar.
Pesky Parrot.
Pesky Parrot. Izumi in the Park or Gio's Terraza?
Gio's Terraza.
Okay. Aqua 82 or All In?
Aqua 82, for sure.
Nice. and the Royal Cappuccino frat party or the plunge daytime pool party?
I think the frat party sounds awesome. I'm going to go with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to go through all of this now, but that was a good, I like that. We should start doing that on our previews. This could be a new tradition. I like it. Yeah. Fist pump me. Yeah. Cool. So I like that. That's fun. Now, I'll tell you the hardest one was probably the food one. I know I'm a foodie, but like Geo's, I mean, I'm really excited about sushi in the park, but the eating outside and being on a balcony looking over the ocean. I mean, it's kind of blocked, but you got, the boardwalk down there and you can, it's kind of cool.
Here you go. Do you wish the ship was somehow built so it was overlooking Central Park instead of the boardwalk?
Yes, I do.
Agree. I think it kind of matches
the
wine bar, Italian type vibe.
What's funny is if you look at videos, there are literal like rooms right next to where people are eating. Like someone made a joke. You could like just hand someone like the food off the balcony and be like, "Here's your dinner." Like, don't even have to leave the room. But no, I mean everything, right? I'm looking forward to everything. I know we're gonna get into it, but Michael, before we get into more of the details, we've got a big announcement. We've kind of made some of the announcement already, but let's just reiterate it for those maybe tuning in for the first time or may have missed it.
Yeah, Frank, we're going to be going live from Utopia this. Well, you're going to be going live from Utopia this season.
You're going to be on there. Yeah, you're going to be on there too.
I'm going to be on there, but from home. We've mentioned Jeremy, the cruising bear, who's been on the podcast a few times. He's going to be joining us.
He is going to be joining us.
And maybe a couple other special guests throughout it.
We may be doing a little giveaway, so we're going to try to do that this week. So check Instagram if you want a free cruise map. We've talked about the cruise maps in the past. Go check out that episode if you want to know what it's all about. These are custom maps made from your voyage using the satellite data. Use code CC15 for 15% off your cruise map. But we will be giving one out for free in addition to a gift card for your next cruise, $100 value. So yeah, we're trying to put all the logistics together. So I'm saying this hopeful and in faith that this all comes to light soon. But yeah, we're going live. I'm really excited about it. I think we've been testing everything. We got a lot of cool elements to this YouTube live. So 10 a.m. I mean, kind of cool, right? August 10th, 10 a.m. I'll be in Nassau. Make sure you mark your calendars. If you're driving, pull over right now, put it in your phone, because if you don't, you're going to forget like me. I'd forget. Or just go on YouTube. I think you can hit like a bell and make sure that you're notified of that. So we'll be joining. Hey, Cruising Bear's coming on. So if you don't want to talk about Royal Caribbean or Utopia of the Seas, we'll be talking about Virgin, Norwegian, Princess, Celebrity, whatever you guys want to talk about. Come join us for some fun on Saturday. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, let's kind of jump into the cruise now, right, Frank? Like you said, how many days from now?
From right now, recording this, I think it's 12 days.
Okay. Yeah. So by the time this comes out, you'll be getting on that weekend, right?
Yeah, I'll be getting on that weekend. Super excited. Like I said, brand new ship. Never been on a cruise ship this soon after it came out. And I think I may have mentioned on this podcast, but this is actually a free cruise, free in quote, because, you do pay taxes and fees. You pay for the dining package, all the things that you add on, right?
Yeah.
But mom got a free cruise at the casino.
Nice.
So I saw it on her offers. I was like, hey, you doing anything? And she's like, no. So, our cruise conversations, Celebrity is coming on to the cruise with me, and she's kind of taking me on her free cruise offer. And hopefully I'll get some footage of her, and we'll be able to kind of review the ship. So I'm really excited about having her on there.
Yeah, like you said, I think we're kind of both just excited from the content you're going to provide with this. I know you're staying in a junior suite, which is new for you, right?
Yeah, junior suite. I've been in a junior suite before.
Okay.
So not necessarily new, but it'll be nice to have that extra space. It's weird on a 3-night cruise because we're doing. Getting kind of into the content here, but we are doing a the ultimate dining package, and one of the biggest benefits with the junior suite is being able to eat in Coastal Kitchen for dinner.
Yeah.
And we're just not going to probably do that, right? We're getting a dining package. There's so many things, right? You got a Zumi in the park. We want to try that. We want to try the new Giovanni's with the terrace, obviously. We want to try the Royal Railway if we can try that. So, there's so much to do. We're probably not going to eat at Coastal Kitchen. Now, if we weren't paying extra and we lived in Florida and we are, we're going to go on this cruise all the time, we would just do Coastal Kitchen because, the quality of the food in Coastal Kitchen is by far some of the best on the ship.
Yeah, and like you said, whether it's the food, the different venues around the ship, we're going to be bringing different vlog type videos, some different B-roll videos of some of the different dining.
I've never done a
bars.
vlog. I've done a rap about calculus.
Okay.
And then I've done cruise podcasts. I mean, that's the extent of my YouTube, right? So you can probably find me and Ruben doing a Calc baby.
Is it still online?
Oh, it's on there. I mean, go make us famous off our Calc baby. And if you're a math teacher, I mean, we really were talking about derivatives and everything. But outside of that, I mean, I'm not done vlog style content. So part of me is like a little nervous, you know? I mean, I'll be in front of the camera. So if you want to see that debut, you got to check it out. So make sure you're subscribed. But yeah, I'm going to try to get as much content as possible.
Yeah. Now let's kind of jump into the cruise itself. You know, you're doing stuff a little different this time. Typically, we don't recommend flying down the day of, but you are this time.
Yeah.
Kind of just talk about that and kind of going into your first day on the ship, kind of what you have planned.
Yeah, like you said, you know, flying in the day of, we normally don't recommend that. It is a 3-night cruise, and the fact that this was a free cruise, in my mind, it's like, if for some reason I can't get there 3 nights, you know, we'll just scratch it. But if you're not like that and you've put a lot of money towards that cruise and, you know, you're willing to lose that money essentially, then yeah, it's definitely a different situation. My biggest thing is I'm going on a 3-night cruise. I'm not checking a bag. Worst case, again, the flight gets delayed and I wouldn't make it, or there's been a lot of issues with the whole Microsoft thing over the last couple of weeks. And that's probably my biggest fear, is something like that were to happen. I would either have to get in the car and drive to Orlando, or, you know, just bag it. But that would definitely be the worst case scenario. So in my head, I'm just like kind of weighing, you know, do I need to come in and maybe, you know, pay for a hotel and all that. But this time, yeah, trying something new, flying in the day of, and probably won't do that again on a regular sailing. I just think it does create that bit of, also you're, you know, other than the anxiety with it, you're, you know, I like starting the vacation kind of the night before. You're settled in, you got your stuff, you got your luggage tags, all of that's super easy. But, you know, that first day you're getting on, I mean, I'm waking up at like 5 o'clock. I mean, I'll try to vlog it, but I'm going to look like a zombie, dude. Like, and then you go and think about it. You only have 3 nights, and that first day you're waking up at 5 a.m. Like, how hard can you really, I mean, probably at midnight, I'm going to be crashing that first day. And then the next morning we have a 10 a.m. live on YouTube. So, you know, it's just not the most ideal setup in terms of just being tired and everything, but I'll kind of report back on what I think and how it goes.
Yeah. And let's kind of just talk about the ship first. You're right. Utopia of the Seas, obviously the latest Oasis class ship. But more than that, it's the first one doing these shorter sailings. I mean, they're marketing it as the world's biggest weekend cruise.
Yeah. I mean, they've obviously had Allure doing the sailings, but this is weird because they've got like their newest ship.
Yeah. Now, all the promotions around this, like I said, being the world's biggest weekend.
And they pivoted a little bit. Like, it wasn't originally supposed to be this party vibe. So now
that's what I'm getting from like the different parties and all that they're doing. I mean, it sounds like all times a day. Like I said, it's only a 3-day cruise, and I think there are more than 4, 5, 6 parties that they're fitting in this period of time.
It's crazy. Like, it's the parties. But then when I go on a cruise, like, I'm not like, oh, like, I'm going with my mom. So, like, it's a little bit different of a vibe. I'm not like, I'm going to hit the parties because I want to give, you know, the feedback to you guys on everything. You got toga parties, pool parties, you got frat parties.
Frat party? Come on, some beer pong with your mom?
Yeah, I mean,
run the table
I'm sure she'll crush me in some beer pong. But other than that, right, you've got the shows. You've got the normal shows. You got comedy. You've got aqua shows, right? So they got the Aqua 82. You've got the ice show, right? So there's like so much. I mean, just there, you're doing one show a night, plus the food in the bars, pesky parrot. I mean, there's the view bar. There's so many things I haven't really seen. So I'm like, I'm going to be like a fish out of water on this thing, trying to see like it's hard. I mean, there's a lot of things to do. That's why, like, I go back to, it's a tough thing. Like, I think I see where Royal's going with this. Let's do, you know, the best cruise ship experience for 3 nights. But if you're coming in this on your first cruise and you've never been on an Oasis class ship, I think it's hard. I think you're looking at this like, look at this list of shows, look at this list of dining, look at this list of parties. How do I like prioritize this? You really got to know, like, coming in, what do you want to do? What do you want to get out of the cruise? Or else you're just going to be like overwhelmed. Or it's just relaxing. I mean, there's totally I'm going to go and just relax, right? We kind of talked about that last week. Go check out that episode with Chris and Tara about all-inclusives and all that. But yeah, I mean, you could totally relax on it too, but I'm going in like, dude, there's a lot to do in 3 nights. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, and that's something we've mentioned many times in the past too. Even the week-long 7-day ones, we always say, most of the time it's hard to get it all done in a week, and that's the perfect reason to book another cruise. So, I've also heard lately of people who are planning back-to-backs on the ship, right? Because really the itineraries it's doing is the 4-night during the week or the 3-night on the weekends, hitting up Nassau and Coco Cay.
Yeah, I mean, 7-night cruise, you're hitting two Coco Cays, 2 Nassaus, and 1 sea day. Obviously, you got a day in between in Miami, which is kind of like an extra cool port. If you're doing it over, and if you're doing kind of like the back-to-back, you're probably not going to get off. You'll probably just enjoy the ship for that day. But yeah, it's a pretty cool setup if you want to do it back-to-back.
And I think one of the biggest points of it, too, one of the biggest selling points is still that 2 days at Coco Cay.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of excited to hear about your Coco Cay day. But before we get there, first day, right? What are you planning on doing once you get on the ship now, that first day?
So first day, I mean, I'm sprinting to the Royal Railway. Hopefully there are some people that are listening to this that will probably be on the sailing, and I've seen that it is tough. Now, you can't pre-book this on our sailing. I think there are people that were trying, and they said it's not really working. So most people are going to be going to the Royal Railway to book that dining experience. Now, I don't think we've fully talked about it, what this dining experience is. This is a train car that moves and simulates like you're in a train while on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And I've seen some videos. I would say it's this. So this is a venue. The Royal Railway is a venue. One of the opportunities is this Wild West theme. And this is the first theme. And I've heard that this one is less about the food. They've got really cool things there's a cigar that's like chocolate. Like they've got really cool thing like a gold bar. But the food isn't like, there's better food out there. Like, if you're going to compare it to Empire Supper Club on Icon, which I'm personally really excited about after hearing Mom's episode, go check that one out too. That food is like the best food on any Royal Caribbean ship, right? And you pay for it. But this is really about the entertainment is what they're calling it, where you've got live actors running around talking about, stealing things and TNT and, all these really cool elements within the show. And that's kind of what you're paying for. So our goal is to try to get on there more to bring that content to you guys, bring it to YouTube. But if we don't get it, it's going to probably be, different. Like you said, we're going to go to Azumi. We're going to do 150 Central Park. We'll probably, do Giovanni. So that's our first thing. Run to Royal Railway. What a tongue twister that is. And then we're going to go do our muster drill. I'll probably go to the Pesky Parrot and just try to see what that's all about. Kind of get some footage around there. In my sea day routine is definitely go to the pool deck, maybe do a little flow riding up there, explore kind of the pool areas, which, it just looks huge. You've got the 3-story lime and coconut. It's beautiful, man. It's so beautiful.
Let's take it back to flow riding, because your bachelor cruise, you didn't get a flow ride because you were under injury at the time.
I know. I might need to message my doctor and be like, hey, is it okay if I do some flow riding? But yeah, this is it's big feat to kind of get back on the surfboard. I'm looking forward to it. So,
all right. So your second day on the ship, it's Nassau, right? Like we said, we're going to be doing the live in the morning of that day. But what else do you have planned for your day in Nassau?
So yeah, that day in Nassau might get off in the afternoon. But most likely, since it's only a 3-night cruise, I'm going to be walking around, enjoying the pool, relaxing after the live, maybe getting content, going live on TikTok, but mostly just trying to enjoy the ship. Like, I think this is kind of my day because the third day is Coco Cay. I'm probably just going to be really trying to just see all the venues and really I'm thinking go to the pool and then maybe go to Azumi and grab sushi in the park and just really fully enjoy it. Cause I feel like, again, these cruises go by 3 nights goes by so fast, especially on a ship like this where you just don't want to get off. So I may get off, go hit a straw market if I need something, but most likely, I imagine the ship is going to be packed this day with just people trying to do the same thing as me, right? Just explore and enjoy kind of the day on board.
Yeah, because like you said, the ship's pretty much brand new. It's only been out for a couple weeks at this point. So, yeah, I feel like everybody's you're not going to see as many. Nassau's already kind of one of the places most stay on, but I feel like with a ship this new with everything going on.
Yeah, even on the Bachelor cruise on Independence, we barely got off maybe for a couple hours, but we were wanting to be back in the pool and, drinking our, drink package and all that. So,
yeah, and only going to be hotter out there too, being summertime.
I know.
Versus early spring, so I can't imagine how hot and sweaty we were that day because we were all right, get back on, get our suits on, and we were back at the pool ordering a drink,
pretty quick,
chilling in the water. Yeah. Now, like you said, your third day is Coco Cay. Tell us what you're doing here. I heard you're doing Hideaway Beach Club again. How's this going to compare to last time?
Yeah, so this time, I mean, it's going to be very different, right, Michael? I mean, last time I was in a scooter. So, I mean, we talked about my injury, and, you know, this is the first time I'm getting to experience it on foot, which I know that sounds like kind of silly for someone that's like, you know, driving to work or listening in their house or making dinner, whatever you're doing while you're listening to this podcast. It sounds silly, but like going somewhere and actually being able to walk is totally different than like having to hobble around on a scooter, especially when you're at the beach. It was, you know, you saw me, it was pretty tough. And I'm just excited like to be able to go into the lagoon. You know, we were there and it was cold in March, but it'll be hot. So there is a heated pool. So I'll be enjoying that. Hopefully it's not heated like we're in like a hot tub or anything like that. But I remember in March it was even pretty hot. So I'll probably enjoy the infinity pool, you know, enjoy some of the food options. There's a ton of great food at Coco Cay. Enjoy, you know, obviously the on the rocks. Go do some of that. Maybe hit some pool, like play some pool with my mom or do some shuffleboard. But yeah, just really kind of relax and enjoy Coco Cay, right? Hideaway Beach is a great time. So I'm excited. I mean, Mom's done it. She liked it. You know, some of her friends, the people that she talks to, say it's a bit too lively. So we'll kind of see what the 3-night crowd, what that looks like at Hideaway Beach.
Yeah, I think y'all will have a blast at Hideaway. Like you said, on the rocks is still one of my favorite points. If I was up there, I'd be taking a little nap out there on one of the chairs next to the ocean. But yeah, hopefully that all goes super well. Now, you talked about you're doing a dining package, right?
Yes.
Tell us, are you planning on doing a drink package this time, or what's your plan when it comes to getting drinks?
This is my first time not doing a drink package. I don't think I've ever, I mean, I can't even remember the last time I didn't buy the drink package, but just truthfully for those that are listening, I just haven't been drinking as much at home. And so I'm just kind of doing it more as like a test of like, will my 4 diamond vouchers still be enough alcohol?
Yeah.
And if I want more, how often do I want more, right? So kind of thinking about that too, because when you have the drink package, sometimes you just drink to drink, which is totally, I mean, you're just trying things. There's so much to try on this ship too. So I'm like, you know, how's it going to be? Even Icon of the Seas, we're doing a drink package. So, you know, this is really just to test, you know, how does it go with only having 4? Now we are doing the Royal Refreshment, which is about like 20 a day. Okay. So about like 65 for the weekend. That's just to get us the coffees. You know, if you want like a soda water or if you want a smoothie or anything like that, you can definitely get that with, you know, the refreshment package. But for alcohol, I'm going to try to do the 4 a day, see how it goes. And I'll kind of report back and let you guys know if you're a diamond, you know, if you've never done it yourself, if you're in your diamond status with Royal Caribbean, you know, if how that experience is. I feel like I will be wanting, especially on the first day, I'll definitely be wanting more, but we're going to still bring our 2 bottles of wine and try to make the most of that. Yeah,
I'm interested to hear your thoughts afterwards, kind of like you said, to see how the 4 drinks a day kind of gets you at the start. You know, one of the places I'm excited for you to check out, speaking of drinks, the Mason Jar. Like we've mentioned many times on this podcast, it's half restaurant, half like bar area with country music at night.
This is one of the first places I'm going, by the way.
Yeah?
I didn't really mention that when you asked me, but I think we're trying to do brunch here. Like as soon as we get on, obviously there's like the things we have to get done. Like I said, Royal Railway, show reservations, all that. But I think we are trying to go Mason Jar as soon as we get on. So yeah, I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's another place, just great music venue at night too, which I feel like is really
and Brian James
underrated,
is still on there, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
because like I said, I had him on Wonder, and because Wonder's the only other ship it's on, and like I said, I hope they continue to put it on more ships. I think it's great.
I mean, it's awesome. I've heard great things. I'm gonna check it out at night. To your point, I mean, there's so much to do at night. You got Red Party, you've got all these. I mean, there's like literally so many shows, so many parties, but like I do want to see what the Mason Jar is like at night. So I'm going to try to definitely check that out. I'm in my head, I'm just going through, I'm like, there's so much in 3 nights. Like it's going to be crazy. I might get off and be absolutely exhausted for like a week or 2 after this trip. Other than the Mason Jar, I mean, I really am looking forward to the destination elevators. That seems kind of like, if you've not been on an Oasis class ship or a large cruise ship, you're like, why is this guy talking about the elevators? But truthfully, the elevators are a big thing on the Oasis class ships. And with this new technology, you don't have to bother, you know, loading into an elevator and then waiting for every floor to be hit. Now you kind of prearrange what floor you want to go to before you get on, and then you just walk on, and maybe there's a stop or 2, but it's pretty much direct. So huge change in terms of just the technology and being able to get around the ship a lot faster, especially on embarkation and disembarkation.
Well, sweet, Frank. I'm excited to hear kind of your review afterwards because I know we're going to do an episode on that, kind of talk over what you actually hit for the 3 days because, like you said, there's a ton. So,
I think you need like a week on this thing.
Yeah, so question of the week, Frank. We're talking about the godmother of this beautiful ship. Who is it?
So it's actually Megan Trainor. So Megan Trainor, all about that bass, no treble. So she did like a show in the Aqua Theater for the launch of Utopia, and the whole concept with the godmother, it's really a tradition that they've been doing. I think most of the cruise ships. What's really cool is they actually have a plaque on the ship that has her face and says, that she's the godmother, and you can go on any Royal Caribbean ship and kind of see who the godmother is. They do like a big bottle of champagne and break it on the side of the ship. So they just do like some of these traditions. I mean, I don't think there's like a ton of, someone's probably going to write us in and say there's a huge historical, reason on why they started doing this, but it is really cool that they've kept this going. And obviously Megan Trainor is awesome. And I don't know exactly how she related to the cruise ship and Utopia specifically. Maybe it's because it's like that party vibe. They wanted someone that's a bit more out there in entertainment, but yeah, pretty cool that, they got a nice godmother on board there.
Well, hey, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the Cruise Conversations podcast. Like we said, be following us on Instagram this weekend because, like we said, you're going to be on the ship by the time this comes out. So kind of, this week leading up, be following Frankie to see some of the posts he posts on the ship. Obviously, like we said, the live August 10th at 10 a.m. Be tuned into there on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Click the bell to be notified when we go live. And we really just hope y'all are excited for all this content you're going to get on the ship that we're going to put out afterwards. Like we said, whether it's vlogs, B-roll videos, and anything else that comes out from it. And then if you're ready to book your next cruise vacation, hey, we'd love to help you with the planning process. Feel free to reach out to us. You can fill out the job form in our bio. You can shoot us a text at
704-313-8556.
And you can DM us on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. Really, you can get in touch with us. Send us an email at cruiseconversations@gmail.com. Like I said, we'd love to help you get the best price really out there for your cruise. And we just love helping you all plan your vacations. I mean, it's super fun. And
the onboard credit, if we can't get you better price, which we actually just got someone a great price on Utopia, I think it was $400 off each room for a balcony. So if we can't get you a better price, we'll definitely make sure we give you the maximum amount of onboard credit as possible.
Well, we hope you all have a great week. Typically we say see you Wednesday, but this week we'll see you Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on YouTube.